I've got 22 miles of fence I have to check every day because in the first, we have 3.5 miles of Highway 277.
Okay.
We are 1 mile from the border. And when they declared Biden the winner, it started. I've been here 6 years. First 3 years, I may have fixed 10 holes in my fence at the most. I may have seen in 3 years, I may have seen a dozen illegals. And they were, before all of Biden's stuff, I've had Colombians, I've had Guatemalans come through, I've had families come through, and you could tell that they were wanting a better life, but still they're here illegal. I give them water, I talk to them a little bit, and when they send them down the road, I call the Border Patrol. Border Patrol picks them up and takes them back. Not happening now. In that 3.5 miles, from the time they declared Biden the winner in January 6th, and then probably the first 90 days, I fixed 44 large holes in that 3.5 miles. And we're talking, you and I could bend down and walk through the holes. That's the size holes.
Wayne, what's been the economic impact on you and the ranch?
Economic impact with us is in these holes, and since in 3 years I've fixed over 400 holes in my fence. I've got probably $350,000 to $400,000 in revenue gone through them holes.
Wow.
So, what happens when people come through? Do they vandalize anything, or is they just using this?
Yes. I've had our main hunting lodge broke into, stuff taken out of it. They go to water troughs, they break the floats, which causes water to flow. These is what we call pilas. That's our water reservoir from the windmills they fill up that, and that feeds the water troughs. When they cut the lines or break a water trough, I lose all that water. And out here in the desert, water is important because we don't get, in the last 15 months, we've had 4 inches of rain.
So when they break this, is it just malicious, or is there some?
It's malicious.
Just malicious.
Yeah. If the DPS catches them under the Lone Star program, we arrest them, they go to jail. Well, they only go to jail for maximum 6 months. If they run or they cause problems, they'll probably get 6 months. Most of the time it's 90 days. And then they're shipped back. All I need is if they're cartels and I confront them and they go back and tell the cartels, then I have to worry about, I've got another fear of dealing with the cartels.
Right. Have you experienced any direct threats to your safety?
No. I have run on several occasions. I've had anywhere from 10 to 15 surround my house, bang on all my windows and doors. When I look out and I see that many, I don't even open the door.
Right.
I just cock my AR and just wait. Here on the border, we're so frustrated that we're tired of the political games. It's all a game to them. They don't care about us. It's pretty evident. They are more worried about, the left side is more worried about staying in power, and that's what all the 8 million illegals is all about. It's another Democrat vote, and it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I mean, it's obvious. So we're left down here on the border to defend ourselves, and our beloved governor is trying his best to protect us, and yet the government is trying to stop him from protecting us. I call it pure outright treason. I don't know how else you could do it. They take an oath to defend the sovereignty of the United States, and yet they just say, nope, we're more worried about our seat up here in Congress and the House, and to heck with y'all down there trying to defend yourself.
When you call, is it generally DPS that comes out or Border Patrol?
I've got both numbers. I always call my DPS first, because if the DPS gets them, I can file criminal trespass charges on them and they go to jail. If the Border Patrol catches them, they just take them, process them, hand them the credit card, a new phone, and say, here, see you. And they tell them 6 to 9 months, and yet the INS is like 5 to 7 years behind. So how many of you think's actually going to show up?
Now, do they usually catch them when they're still on your property, or is it once they've left?
Usually, if they catch on camera here, very few ever get away. They may not catch them on me, but they got the cameras hit them, and they know what direction they're headed and where they're going to go, and they usually find them. Like Poco Seco on the other side of the road that y'all came in, they'll catch a lot of them over there, but they've been through me.
Okay.
They cut my fence over here on the highway simply because it's on the highway and it's a matter of speed. Getting across the highway, get in.
Right.
It's funny, they'll cut the fence over there, but when they get on the back side, they'll climb over it. So,
how's the community feeling? Fellow ranchers and residents nearby?
We've had enough. We had a meeting not too long ago there in Brackett, and it was the basis of the meeting was the governor's new bill of reimbursement for damages that we incur. We got about 10 minutes into that, and Chip Roy and a couple of other congressmen and senators were there, and the border czar was there, and I think there was about 8 dignitaries there. And about 10 minutes into the reimbursement part, it got pretty heated on, we're tired of it. We can't go outside. Our kids can't go outside. I just talked to a friend of mine in Del Rio this morning. He lives on the other side of Del Rio. He's been there since '99. In the last 3 years, his kids can't go outside without both dogs being in the yard with them. They live where you have to lock your cars up every night. Every window is closed. Every door is locked. Guns all over the house. And since '99, that's never happened. And then in the last 3 years, now they can't even, there's no quality of life anymore. No peaceful quality of life.
Have you had any dead bodies turn up on this property?
You know, I haven't seen them.
Right.
I'm not saying they're not out there somewhere. Most of the dead bodies that I have been told of through the DPS and the Border Patrol, they die of 2 things. They die of dehydration, and they die with a bullet in the back of their head from the cartels.
So that's...
There was on the here. This is the Moody Ranch across from us. Like I said, it's not but a mile and a half, but back about 5 miles back that way, it might be 3 miles across. They caught one illegal that was just doggone near dead from dehydration, and he had his girlfriend's phone, and he actually filmed her as she died. And they died from dehydration, and the river wasn't but a mile that way. Wow. They get on here and they get lost, and they just do circles. And
wow. So
this is the hole that was cut about a week and a half ago.
So how do the cartels collect?
If you watch, you can go all the way to the top, and they cut all the way to the bottom. And I have to put in new wire in the spots, but that was laid back. Now, all my game could be out there on the highway. That hole was big enough.
So they just basically from post to post.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
So if they just send them through the hole in the fence and say goodbye, how do they collect?
oh, they collect on that side of the river.
Oh.
Cartels ain't about to say, let me, you not pay when I get there? No.
Right, but most of them,
In, what is it, 3 more months, I think they told me, Abbott's new law goes into effect.
right, actually on March 1st.
Is it March 1st?
Yeah.
Where, hey, you go across this thing 1 foot on the other side of that bridge, you're going to jail. Big time, federally.
Right.
I'm ready for it. I can't wait for it to happen. But then you go and you look at the other side of it. Who's paying for it? You and me. Or Texas. For that, it'd be all of us Texas citizens. Now we've got to house, feed, take care of them before they send them back. South of me, back towards Dilley and back in Cruiser Springs and all that, some of the game ranches down there, there was 3 or 4 guys that had been accosted. They were in their Rangers checking fence, and groups jump out and drag them out and beat on them, and then take the Rangers and take off.
Wow.
Martine, just probably 20 minutes south of me down here. He woke up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and went to the bathroom and happened to look down the hall, and the kitchen light was on. So he thought, well, wife must have left it on to go turn it off. Walked into the kitchen, there's 5 of them sitting at the table drinking the beer out of the refrigerator.
Whoa.
I would hate to say what would happen if it'd been my house.
Yeah. Just sitting there. So,
Just sitting there drinking beer.
Brazen.
what's this?
Do you think we'll see a big influx as November approaches over the fear of Trump winning?
Scared to death. Because as bad as it was when they said, okay, everything's good, the door is open, now they're going to say, okay, the door's fixing to close. Here it comes.
Right.
It's going to get bad.